the men that you end up being with are not just average men. But if you don't empower the men, who will marry these ladies that are empowered? So right now you go out there, you find societies that are broken because, again, women are the core of the family at the end of it. So if we end up with women that, yes, their standards are very high, which is good, but you forgot to empower the men, then you make it so difficult for these women to get into a stable union with men. It becomes very hard for a woman to lower her standard. First of all, I think I've never gotten this concept of friend. I don't personally, people, when you say like, and they expected that term to come up, acquaintance. I don't know who acquaintance is. I don't know who friend is. Honestly, I don't. And then and ladies really like saying this a lot. No, she's not even my friend. She's just my acquaintance. I'm like, what is that? And what is friend? I honestly don't get it. So, as he said it, I think your friends, as you grow up, your friends who, I don't want to say serve different purpose, well, that is the case, but as I grew up, my dad raised me highly disciplined. He used to say discipline is paramount, and you can't deviate from some. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you need to do as a man, the whole compound should be clean. You need to pick up everything, burn the trash in the trash place, slash the compound, trim everything. Everything has to be in order. The shoes has to be polished. Kila kitu lazima inyoroke. Everything has to be in line. And another thing that he taught me was you are sum total of your friend. You are average of your friends. The people that you hang out with really say a lot about you. And growing up, I've really always been so careful. I've always been so careful on who I bring into my life as a friend. I try to be so cautious on who I welcome into my cycle. And I can tell you, like, every person that you can tell me that what value does this person add into your life, I can tell you that this person added this value, this person added this value. So I try not to make friends that I don't need. And in adulthood, I think that really also helps me a lot. Of course, in friendship, you have different circles. You have the inner circle, you have the other circle, you have the big one. It starts from the family. Then
the bond gets weaker
as it grows. Van der Waals. Yes, it's like the atom. The bond gets weak as it grows. But you know that I have this person in the third cycle whom is very good at this, that when I call, this will happen. Like, I have a friend who works in Safaricom. We are not very good friends, but if I'm stuck with anything that needs Safaricom help, I'll call him. And he will not refuse to help me. He'll help me because we've both understood that we are friends at this level. So I think that's it. I don't like really hold dear that, oh, this is my best friend. This is, no, I'm just like, we are friends, and this is what I help my friend with, and this is what my friend helps me with, and this is what we discuss. And I'm also in a foreign country. You really need this kind of a circle.
Because really, I don't see this scale that now makes somebody a best friend and another person a lesser friend. Because even if you say that, if we are in a group and then you point one of us that this is my best friend, then it means the rest of us.
Yeah.
I think friendship is just trying to get along, and to me, importantly, is just trying to understand that this person is like this. We are not going to do much about it, and accommodating one another, and trying to make each other better, knowing that if I succeed, they succeed. Yes. Yeah. And trying to make the world a better place for all of us.
Yeah. I agree. And also, maybe just on the friendship aspect, I don't know if you guys have done business together, but in case not, then maybe tell us about how your experiences have been. Maybe if you have had any business with friends, and maybe what you can tell the viewers about.
So you're saying that if you've done business with friends or something like that, I can say, as I said, as I was starting, that I have friends that I know. I can specifically tell you what every friend of mine has helped me with. Him personally has really helped me with a lot of financial literacy. I had a vague understanding of financial literacy, and I knew some stuff, but I didn't know as deep as I knew when I came across him as a friend. He's also taught me some bit of patience. So yes, if you're talking about business, we've not done actual business like this, but he's helped me increase my financial results in one way or another. So, but besides him, like I have many friends that have helped me get really, really big deals in what I'm doing. I have friends who made me work for serious clients that I don't know who I was telling recently that I can say 90% of my friends right now, I've never met them. Never. If I show you on my WhatsApp right now, 90% I've never met. I have a friend who lives in UK, never met her. We're very good friends. She's really given me good deals. We work together. I have friends in Kenya in very high offices, never met them. They just saw my work, we became friends. They rely on me, we do businesses, and these are people that I trust like 100%. I can do for them gigs that are like 100k Kenya shillings without caring, and I'm sure they'll pay me. But we've not met, you see. So yes, I have friends that you've done businesses with, and I think that's it. The challenge with friends sometimes is again them not paying when it comes to business. But I think the best way to deal with this is set very clear precedents before you start. You say that, Chief, are we doing this on payment or not? and if you are doing it, let it be this. And I can tell you also, I've lost again, I think around 50%, 60% attrition rate. Like I've lost friends also in the aspect of them not paying. Like, and it happens so funnily that people ask you for your service, or people ask that you do business with you, then they mess you up, then they don't talk to you. They become your enemies. But they're the ones who are wrong. Then you're like, hey, Chief, is this how you're going to handle this? So yeah, so I think that's also another dynamic of friendship. They can also let you down, but I think I wouldn't be where I am without friends, that's for sure. Yeah.
I haven't done business in a scale that would make me think of myself as a businessman. But just as he's put it, friends come through in a number of cases to like give you business. But looking at it from outside, I have seen serious problems between friends when it comes to finances. Business is all about finances. Business is all about trying to put this so that at the end of a given period of time, then it grows. Because of and I think for the simple reason that a friend is likely to mess you up, just like he's put it, and they will see nothing wrong with that. Like if it's a business, they come to you and then they tell you that help me with these, or help me supply this. Then when the money comes, I will be able to pay you. Then you do exactly as they request. The money comes and they have a problem, because normally I don't believe somebody can take money and throw it away. Then they solve their problem first before thinking about you. Just with the simple reason that you will understand. Yes, and it's very hard, for example, to take your friend to court or to because then other people will frown upon you and ask, but I thought you guys have been friends. Without really thinking that we are friends, but this is business. So it's a very tough balancing act. How you're going to handle business and how you're going to handle friendship. In most cases, if you listen to testimony of people who've done business, in most cases, people who you successfully do transaction with are people who you don't know, are people who are not your friends. It's like employing a relative. You take your sibling and put them into your business. They take the money, then you take them to the police station. Then your mother comes and tells you, you can take money over blood. This is your sister. This is. I mean, what have happened of you? Are you my child that I brought up? They don't understand that, ma'am, this is now business. So it's very hard It's very, very hard to balance. And sometimes they have that courage of, spending your money. Say, hey, this is my brother's money. Yes, this is my. And sometimes it's hard when you're now the younger sibling. Yeah, this is my kid brother's money. So I mean, yeah.
Audacity.
Yes, your elder brother tells you, you see, in the absence of our dad, then I now become like the head of the family. Sometimes it's our parents. We've had stories of guys who are sweating it out here, and they send money back at home for construction, for certain investments. Then the parents use it, and your mother tells you that yes, you sent money. I don't deny. This is the money I received, but my sister. My sister's husband was in the hospital. What did you expect me to do? Then, and really, you don't. This is your mother. What are you going to do about it? But as opposed to, if you send this money to a stranger somewhere, who, from like he put it, from the onset knows the consequences. That boss, this we are now doing this. If it doesn't work out, then there are consequences. So it's very hard to try and balance this.
And this brings us to this myth. Sometimes we find it so hard, like maybe men don't easily express their feelings. Sometimes you would rather keep it within, and maybe someone is hurting. So I don't know if it's a myth or it's actually what happens. And just to put it in line with emotional intelligence, how do you manage your emotions and ensure that you still build this or maintain these healthy relationships? Yes.
Emotions are very important for people, but it's very wise to know how to block them out and let logic reign at some point. Yes, you need emotion to make some decisions, but in my own decision making, I always try to use logic more than emotions. And that's how I'd put it.
Well, I want to agree with what you are saying, but I'll bring in a different aspect. When you talk about emotions, and you ask that, as men, it's do we have these emotions? And yes, we do, because emotions are not only negative emotions. If something happens, something good happens to me now, I'll get excited, which is an emotional. If we fall in love, we love, whether it's our parents, our siblings, or the people we are intimate with, that is emotion. So yes, I know there is this. I don't really want to call it stigma. Stereotype. There is this expectation. It borders stereotype. That when things are bad, especially it's a negative emotions of pain, of grief, then as a man you are expected to, to not to show it. Like people, why do you cry and you are a man? And people, these emotions are there, and sometimes suppressing them makes it burst sometimes. If something is wrong, I know. Let me know. I don't want to speak as somebody who I am still confined within those societal expectations that we have talked about. That I am not expected to cry and all this. But I really feel that people are. It's better if you let people, bring out their emotions, because it's better. They pile up, and this is now what brings. You had rising cases of suicide and people taking their lives because this business failed. How will people think of me that I started something that failed? You keep it to yourself. Your marriage fails. Your children are not going to schools as you think. Your career is not picking up, and then it reaches a point that all these things have piled up. There is no space, and it has to burst. And sometimes the consequences are not very good. Two, now coming to emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is, to me, is touches on, it's like bi-directional. It is understanding how to deal with people's emotions, and two, understanding how to deal with your own emotions. Because one, I am worked up, I am not happy about something. But if I come to the house and break the television, will I have solved that problem?
No.
I was emotional, I was disappointed, I felt bad. Yes, I understand, and everybody saw that the person, did something bad to me. But if I crash my car, that now I'm frustrated, have I solved anything? So emotional intelligence, now that's where emotional intelligence, according to me, comes in. Number two, we know that your friend or your partner or your sister or your sibling is going through something, and they are likely to bring out the emotion, because you cannot control how they bring out the emotions.
Yeah.
How are you going to receive it? Yeah. If they come to the house and they start breaking things, will you tell them, go on, break everything? That is now where emotional intelligence comes in. And I don't know how practical to put this, but it also touches on how you understand other people's and how they feel. For example, if you have a friend whose marriage didn't work out, and he's your friend, he or she is your friend, and yours is working out, it is very bad to keep on talking about how successful your marriage is with them. You get that? Yeah. If you have a friend who's tried, because people are out here who have tried to really bring a relationship, to have a wife or a husband, and they for one reason or another they are not able, then wherever you're with them, you keep on, hey, my husband is calling, let me see, I'll ask my husband if I can come. You make them start asking that. So some people, and it's very bad if you can be in that situation, don't understand that this other person is in this situation, which sometimes they really have very little control over. We have grief by loss of somebody through death or something. This person is grieving. You cannot go and start telling them that, you see, I told you that you are not to take your mother to this hospital. Now see, they are dead. That is they are dead, and we have very little control over them, if any. Who tells you that if you took them to the hospital that you said they would survive? Yeah. So emotional intelligence is just understanding that people are likely to be having different emotions at different times. They're likely to look at things different ways. And how are you going to, how do you handle them whenever they are in a given state? Yes. And two, you are also, as a person, I am not, I don't subscribe to the school of thought that I can really be numb about emotions. Because you see, sometimes, whereas I think some people don't get it, is that when we talk of emotions, we just think of crying and grief, and there's also celebration. There's, you've achieved what you've been looking for. You've got this big deal, like people who are in client, search, and you've got this client, you back this deal, that you are likely to be emotional. You're likely to express it in a given way. You see it when people watch football. People break chairs because you've been looking for this goal and it comes at the very last minute, and it makes you qualify. Yeah. There is a penalty that is awarded to the opposite, to the opponent team, that if it scores, then they beat you and they qualify. And your goalkeeper saves it. There is that emotion that comes. You can jump off a 10-story building. Yes. So, but if you jump off a 10-story building and then you break your leg and you're now not able to watch the next game or to go and see the next game, then it really didn't help you. So, in a nutshell, that is what I think. Yes.
And I think you both have spoken about, maybe you have spoken about people, and I would like to know, you see, like recently there is this conversation about women empowerment, how ladies are supporting more ladies to be more empowered, and how men are actually supporting more ladies to be more empowered. How do you feel about this whole concept? And there is also this, I myself, I call it a myth, because I believe in the law of nature, that what men can do, ladies can do best. I don't know what you guys think
You say you
about
believe in
this.
that?
No, I believe in the law of nature that we have to let the men lead. So, but I don't have a problem being in position if I'm in a position too. So, yeah, how do you feel about this women empowerment narrative that is going on?
Okay, I think this is something that I really have my opinion about, but I think the most important question to ask is where did it start? Why did women feel they need to be empowered? That is the first question. And women felt that they needed to be empowered because they were not involved in some of the major decision making that were done there, blah blah blah. There are things that were missing out if you look historically in the societies, in different societies. And at that point, I think it was important. It still is important, but I think at this level that we are right now, we are at the level whereby we need to kind of equalize things, because yes, it's good. I'll still maybe support it in some instances, but I think some men are also now thrown out of the balance right now. And specifically speaking about, I'll speak about Kenya or Africa, because then I want to restrain my argument to avoid being misquoted. Yeah, so I'd speak in the context of Kenya. Like in Kenya, we had a society like whereby women were not given the same level of respect as men, and blah blah blah. Then you have this thing of women representation, women rep coming in, women had a kiti, blah blah blah. And in Kenya, at some point, we didn't have these issues of divorce as they are right now. We didn't have these issues of marriage is not working out as they are right now. And my argument has always been that the thing is, yes, empowering women is good, but up to a certain level, because if you empower them and you empower them, what happens right now is that you guys, the way you're empowered right now, the women that you are right now, the men that you end up being with are not just average men. But if you don't empower the men, who will marry these ladies that are empowered? So right now you go out there, you find societies that are broken, because again, women are the core of the family. At the end of it. So if we end up with women that, yes, their standards are very high, which is good, but you forgot to empower the men, then you make it so difficult for these women to get into a stable union with men. It becomes very hard for a woman to lower her standard. And if you say that, okay, they'll get a man, but the men, if you don't empower the men, then it means that the men that are empowered, the population is reducing. So you'll have many empowered women with very few men that can get to them. And also, in as much as this is true, and some people might dispute it, it is at the decision of this man which woman he will be, the man that is empowered. It does not mean that this man, there are few to start with, the men that are empowered are few, we have agreed on that, but also this man is not only considering these women that are empowered, but this woman that is empowered is most definitely considering these men that are empowered. So we are not balancing this thing out at the end of this. So that's my take on women empowerment. I think we are at the level where we need to stabilize things and also start empowering men, or we're going to lose our society.
Well, it's I look at it most of the time. I read a lot about it. I just have sometimes I sit down and just give it a critical eye. I want to touch a little more into it. Number one, there is something that people sometimes forget. It's called the culture. Culturally, and I would speak for the cultures that I have had contact with and the cultures that I know. Culturally, there's a way women and men are set to be. Problems come when you now start challenging these, the societal norms, the cultural expectations, and things like that. For instance, from my culture, the women or the girls grow, then they get married, then they go, and the homes from where their husbands come now become their homes, and they leave the homes to their male siblings and things like that. And therefore, if there is something to be inherited, then it is the male siblings who do. In a situation where we have both sexes as children in this family. But the constitution now, which again, we can't blame those who wrote the constitution, because you can't take care of all the cultures that there are in a country. The constitution today envisages that everybody is equal and everybody should be treated equally. But now, so in the sense that if there is inheritance to be shared out there, then they should be shared out equally, irrespective of the sex of the siblings. But do you think this works? It's very hard. It's very hard. Because culture itself does not allow, culture. Well, I don't say that all aspects of culture are good. Or let me not bring in the aspect of good or bad, but bring in the aspect of relevancy. I don't want to say that all cultures are still relevant. All cultural practices are still relevant, because we have those that have been proven by science that no longer make sense, and things like that. And those that are naturally no longer make sense. But there are some that are still holding. And I mean, it's very hard to convince the men, like in my culture, to like divide land for the girls. It's going to be very difficult. In fact, some girls naturally say that, hey, I am now married, my land is at my husband's place. So really, this women empowerment thing has to really we have to ask ourselves that what did culture put both of us? What were the girls expected to do and what were the boys expected to do? And let us look at it in the very basic sense. Yes, I agree with certain aspects of it, like education. Let everybody go to school, because it's not only for the benefit of the society, but for the benefit of that individual. You see, going to school, as I look at it, it's not just to get to school, get a job and get money. No, it opens your worldview. It makes you a better person. You look at things, all the aspects of life differently. Life itself, religion, health, whatever, and things like that. Then number two, I have a problem when people want to bring, favoritism to make it appear as women empowerment. Yes, we have situations where it's clearly women are now favored, and then we don't see this boundary where now this is now clearly favor and this is now empowering this person. Because I mean, walk into rehabilitation centers today, you'll find more men than women. Go into prison, you'll find more men than women. Go into drug addiction, you'll find more men than women. Go into crime, organized crime, you'll find more men than women. Go into suicide, you'll find more men than women. But people don't want to talk about this. I'm not saying that women should start committing crime. We should have more women in prison. We should ask ourselves, why do we have more men in prison as compared to women? And start by correcting that. But now people only look at the other side of the reflection when there are goodies to be shared. Now we have political seats. If men this, then women must also be this. We should look at the thing in a wholesome. We should give it a wholesome approach. That we have things that are weighing down on men. What do we do to bring or to reduce it, so that if it's drugs, why do we have more men in drugs than the women? If we want to believe that everybody is equal, unless we will be favoring one side over the other. And then two, just like one point that he nicely brought out, sometimes we fail to allow nature to take its course. You are empowered. Naturally, a man would not want to. It's very hard for a man to be with somebody who they think is higher than them in aspects of finances and things like that. So we end up having women who are there, yes, they are all empowered. And I really am for women who go to school and uh, get their career path straight and things like that. I would want my daughter in future to be that strong person. But also make them understand that you are this strong, you are this independent, but society expects us to behave like this. This is where we've been brought up. We cannot run away from this. Yes, our culture is like this. This is what we are expected to behave and things like that. I liked one time when Samia was asked, Samia Suluhu, who is now the president of Tanzania, she's the president and she is a wife. She says that when I get home, I am not a president. I am a mother and I am a wife to a husband who expects me to do A, B, C, D. And that's where women get it wrong. Some women, let me not use the blanket term of women. Some women get it wrong when it comes to that. But, and I also want you to look at it like this. If we have two families where the men are providing all these families, and all of a sudden in family A, the man comes down and now is not able to provide and the woman remains standing. And in family B, the man still provides. Which family is likely to move forward a little more steps? It is the B where the man is still taking lead. Because I don't know, I am a child of a woman, I have women siblings, I have women siblings, women friends, and I don't know why the women find it very hard or difficult to just uplift a man. That you are a man, you are as good as you still are able to meet certain expectations of them as women. That when this stops, I'm not saying all, but in most cases, things just stop working out. Yeah, a man will take care of a woman who is a housewife very well, but it will be very hard for the opposite to happen. It will not happen smoothly. Yeah, it will be like, hey, you're just sleeping, men are out there working. You're just here. Yeah? What are you doing? You are here, just warming the bed, and men are out there. Very few women. You will forgive me for this, but very few women will, pick you up and say, I know you are this way, and things are not working out. I can hold up your hand and hope that things get better. So women empowerment, to me, I don't know. I just don't know where to create boundary. Sometimes I just feel that it's clear that a particular set of people are being favored over the others. Because why don't we look at it wholesomely? Why is it not when things are good? This is now when we want to say that, and to sum up the point that I'm trying to bring across, we should not forget our culture. Cultures are a people's way of life, and we cannot run away from it. And the biggest problem that we've had, probably as Africans, is that we took other people's cultures and made ourselves feel that they are better than ours. They are not. Before we got into contact with these people, our forefathers were living. They had a way of organizing the society, and life was going on. Life didn't start when these other people came. Life was going on. And the two, why don't you ask yourself that why don't they take you as, this thing of feeling that one culture is better than the other, to me, that work out.
Yeah.
Yes. So let women, there's this talk of, this is the trend. This is the women of the West. This is now what it is not. It cannot be applied universally. As a woman, if you are from Africa, there is that which the Igbo culture expects you to behave. There is that which the traditional Shona culture expects you to behave, and the whatever ways in which you should carry out yourself. And sometimes we should understand. There was a lady who became a district officer, and she was posted somewhere in Maasai community, one wherever there is a gathering, women are not expected to talk. And now this lady was now to go and chair public barazas, which are mostly attended by men. then now this is where the problem start. You cannot just start castigating these men that, oh, you must allow women to lead. No, bring them, walk them through this, that you see things are changing, and now, you know, we have, first of all, appreciate that whatever they are doing is right, that you are holding on to your culture, which is a good thing, but now bring them, walk them along these changes, make them understand that you have daughters, you are taking them to school, you expect them to lead, just as the way this one is, you know, is trying to lead, and things like that. But this blanket condemnation that if you don't change, you know, it's not the best thing.
I think my question now to you as men, since you have also brought up the aspect of maybe men are now not being empowered more to maybe to the same level as ladies, because now you guys are, I can say you are empowered men. Now talking to people who are not maybe empowered, or maybe not as empowered as you guys, how can we now empower more men to be able to get to a higher level than these ladies who are empowered? Because now the society needs more empowered men, because now there is a lot of women empowerment conversations. How can we empower our men more?
Well, that question is really institutional, because, and we can't answer it in a podcast for sure, because the problem that we have is really, it didn't start today. It's a problem that started like in the 90s when society started breaking down till now. But I think quick fix to this would be join men clubs that are out there as men. You find the men that have decided, like I see this in places like US, men that have decided to bring up their kids in a manly way, because you know the society is really frightened with a number of things that are dynamics that are coming out. So the men clubs, the men that go out with their kids, father, son, they go out like in a camp, they talk, they teach their kids how this thing should be done, blah blah blah. And if you are in a church setup, there are churches that also have men in groups and things like that. So I think the quick fix solution would be associate with the clique that you want to look like. And also one thing that I'd say, I don't know if this is a parting shot per se, but the shortcut to success, people say there's no shortcut, but the shortcut to success is mentorship. Get a mentor. If you're a man, you might not notice it, maybe because you're young, again, because for you to get to a point that you're self-aware and you know that you need a mentor, then there's a good chance you are doing well. For those that have not gotten to that chance, that the point that the level that they think they need a mentor, if you're the elder brother, if you're the dad, get them a mentor at different levels of the society. When I was young, I had someone that I was looking up to. Then when I joined campus, I had a cousin of mine who I was looking up to. So at different levels. And right now, I have a mentor who is helping me in my field of design and everything. Someone that I look up to who is giving me like deep analysis of how things are. Then maybe going forward, maybe when I become a dad, and maybe I'll look forward to having someone who maybe will mentor me as a dad or something. So I think those join groups that are associated with what you do, then get a mentor.
My take is that we should look at life as a wholesome process. We should not bring this thing of masculinity or femininity as contrasting pairs. Let us first of all understand that life has to be lived. There are goals that have to be met, and there are certain processes that lead to these goals being met. And just like he's put it, let us first of all make, especially the young, aware that you are a man or you are a boy, and this is what is expected of you to do. And people, there is learning by seeing, which is a very important thing. And this is now where the mentorship comes in. As people who are lucky to be dads, bring your sons up in a certain ways that are even prescribed in the Bible, so that when they grow up, they can't depart from them. Make them understand that you need to take lead people are looking up to you. You need to work and things like that. And two, the success of these things, to me, has the women also have a role to play in them. Because then if we also bring our daughters up, or we train the girls in a particular way that however much, because when we take the girls to school, for example, we expect the very best from them. We've started seeing women presidents, women leaders who in actual sense are doing sometimes way better than the men. But apart from whatever they are doing, we're now talking about living and growing up and bringing up families. Let them take that role that they should, irrespective of whichever level of career or whichever level of leadership they are in. Let them understand that this is what society expects of me in the aspect or in the context of a mother and a wife and a sister and a daughter. And I think with that, things will be better. And things are not that bad as may want to appear. Yeah.
No, that's really nice, and I feel like this has really been a good conversation. So just to finalize, where can people find you when they want to reach out?
I'm really not so big on social media, but I have Facebook, Ochieng Jaoko. I have Instagram, JJ Ochieng. Yeah, I'm available on that, yes.
This is a parting shot here. I thought of saying one thing and also maybe adding something.
Okay.
One, yeah, you can find me on all social media at Newton Oluoch. But I'm active mostly only on LinkedIn and WhatsApp. Sometimes I decide to be active on Instagram. But yeah, if you check on Instagram, Newton_Oluoch, LinkedIn Newton Oluoch, Facebook Newton Oluoch, LinkedIn Newton Oluoch. Then I'd like to add one thing that yes, I mean, you can check if you want to work with us as an entity. I have a startup in Kenya. You can check nojo.co.ke. You can find our work there and we can work there. And you can also just inbox me, we can work there. It doesn't matter. So then I wanted to talk about one thing, networking. I think just give a tip on networking. If people want to network, I've learned a trick that maybe if you want to do something, you want to network, you want to, you've identified one person, let's say this person, let's say it's Ruto, the president of Kenya, and you want to get to Ruto. There's a good chance you won't do that. So the best way to network is also, Ruto is like a perfect example. Let's say you want to get to the
CEO of Kenya Commercial Bank.
Yes, the CEO of the company that you're really interested in. Go on LinkedIn and look at the friends that he also follows and the friends that you follow. Then follow the friends of the person that you want. This one will help you understand what that person really is. And then by the time you'll be connecting with him, the genuine connection. And also get to really be close to them, the friends that you get to ask them about the person. So that one day when you get the opportunity to speak to this person, you really tell him a lot of stuff about him or her that will help you create an easy bond. This, I think, is a trick people really forget. People want to get to that person directly. They inbox this person, and these people get inboxes like 700 inboxes in a day. So they also check on social media. If you send them a follow, by the time you send them a follow, they'll see that, assuming that I see this on Facebook a lot because I'm not on Facebook. When someone requests me for a friend request, nowadays I don't confirm because honestly I'm not on Facebook. It does not help confirm. So when I find myself stumbling there, maybe because I'm in Hungary, I need to look for a house, I need to look for something, Facebook market, and if I see that this person that is requesting me is a friend to, let's say, is a friend to Felix, I'll confirm. You see, it's easy. Emotionally, it happens without even thinking about it. And we can then scale this up in serious platforms like LinkedIn. Before you get to this person that you wanted to speak to, get to know the people that are around you. When you'll be requesting this person for friendship, they'll be saying that he's a friend to all of my friends. How comes he's not my friend? Automatically, this person will accept you in the circle.
Wow.
So that's a good trick.
Know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows the person you want.
Wow.
That's a really good way to end the show. Thank you so much again for honoring our invite to be on Balance It podcast. You had really good insights. We have learned a lot. We have gotten some bits of your brains, and I think you guys have also got it as well. Thank you so much again for coming to the show. And thank you so much. And until next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.